Hey YouTube. I was planning on going live. We'll see if anyone drops in. But I like to record my videos live in case someone comes in and has questions and wants to react rather than recording them ahead of time. I came in with the intention of making a post about the federal interest rate dropping, and I have thoughts. I'm excited about it to see where it goes, but I decided to change topics and talk about coaching today. I just finished up a year-long accelerator program with a wonderful coach named Amina AlTai. And I hope I said your name right, Amina. It was a accelerator program with myself and several other entrepreneurs. And it was a incredible experience. We just wrapped up a few minutes ago, and I wanted to talk while it was fresh because I'm thinking about my career and my life and coaching. And I wanted to share because there is, coaching has become very popular. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of coaches now. There's a lot of skepticism around coaching, which I would say is healthy around any industry. And I would have counted myself. Like anything, do your research and find people who are a good fit for you. But I've gotten a lot out of coaching, and I was someone who was quite skeptical of it because it is not always obvious what the value is going to be in the price, or the investment, as they'll often say, can be rather high. So I kind of want to, in reverse order, talk about my coaching experiences and shout out to all the people I've worked with. Working with Amina has been incredible. We had a program where we would meet as a cohort every other week to talk about what was going on with us and get coaching from Amina. She gave us opportunities to meet one-on-one. She provided a lot of curriculum. There was nervous system coaching. Really, a lot of different values being provided. And a really incredible group to be in. And it was really helpful to be in with a group rather than just solo and getting to go on a journey with people. And what I got from the accelerator program and what I've gotten from all coaches is confidence building, and something that I try to provide in my own service. I don't know if I'd call myself a coach, but I end up doing a lot of, a lot of working with people to help them, find what it is they want to do. Like we're there to talk about money, but why are we doing all this trouble around money? Like what is it that we want to do with it? So we end up having some pretty deep conversations, and that's what we had with Amina. And she's worked with a lot of people. She's had her own very particular journey that led her here. I went in because I knew people who had been through her program, and it had been very transformative for them professionally, like really improved their earning ability and their business. So, I went in with very strong sense of what it is that Amina offered. And, that was definitely my experience. It's hard to go back and reflect on an entire year of it, but she helped me through our baby arriving and all the life changes that came with it, through leaving my old company that I'd been with for a decade and starting a new one, all on my own from scratch. And what you get, what I get, and in my personal belief of what you get from coaching, is people helping you find your confidence. That might be a hard thing to quantify, but someone who can listen to you and then interpret back what they're hearing and help you find the building blocks to help you be confident and move on. Like they do provide firm advice about, like, do this, do that, here's how to market, from my experience. But what I always get is, like, you had the ability all along. You just needed to click your heels. And working with Amina and her accelerator was very valuable. And I'll add, she has another accelerator coming up. It's going to be a 6-month-long program, and I'm going to be there providing personal, financial, and business guidance. I'm going to do a few sessions teaching people about managing personal and business finances and how they interplay. And I'm really excited to be that. And it's really exciting that Amina is having me come for that. Then again, going in reverse order. Before that, I worked with an amazing woman named Melanie Vesey in Los Angeles, who typically works with actors and comedians. She's Maria Bamford works with her. A lot of actors and comedians that I really admire work with her. And I reached out to her, being none of those things, though, funny in my own right. And she helped me figure out really what my personal and professional brand was. Like, what is my story? I have a very, on paper, circuitous path of, being a scientist, being involved in ecological work, becoming a financial planner and entrepreneur. And she helped me, reflect back and showed me what the underlying story was and helped me understand myself and how to share that with the world. Like that, we created a website and personal branding together, and it was incredibly helpful. I still look to her for guidance. And before that, my first experience with coaching was with a gentleman named Bob Madonna, who was referred to me by a friend who had worked with him. I'd found myself, he was an executive coach, and I'd found myself leading a company that had, started as one person and grew into being a company. And I was feeling over my head, and I was, telling someone about this, and they said, oh, I was in the same position, and I worked with Bob, and gave me the contact info, and I talked to Bob, and we worked together for several months. And again, it was about Gil. He's had his storied career that is still ongoing, and shared what it is to be a leader. And no one teaches you to do it. They just expect you to all of a sudden take over a team and lead. And I'll never forget when we first started working together. We had breakfast one morning, and on our way out of the restaurant after our eggs and waffles, I said, Bob, I just don't know. I feel so fake. I don't think I belong here in this position. And he said to me, like, Louis, we wouldn't be having this conversation if you didn't belong here. And just getting that little bit of confidence I will carry that the rest of my life. Just, I'd gotten to know him, really looked up to him. And when he, turned around and said that one sentence to me, it bolstered me in a way that, reading, a dozen books and podcasts and stuff about leadership never could. And so, that's what I've gotten from it is finding the inner strength and confidence and having the support, the person to talk to, who's been there. So that's actually something, to think about when you're looking at your own coaches, is finding someone that's been there. There's a lot of people who might have a coaching business that is aspirational, and don't want to take away from that. They might have their own value, but when I look for someone who's been there and can share their experience. And all three of the people I've worked with have been there, and I benefited greatly from them. So I really appreciate them, and appreciate the time and energy that they gave me when they're working. And the nice thing is even after the formal sessions were over with them, they're still in my life. I can still, I still see them on social media or in person when they come through town, and have them as part of my network and as a resource. And they, I wouldn't have them otherwise. I wouldn't have the connections that come from that. So, coaching is something that I plan on continuing to participate in and encourage people. It's certainly a privilege to be able to have the time, energy, and money to engage with a coach. And I've certainly made trade-offs and sacrifices to have these coaching experiences, but I think that they've been great investments and well worth it, and will pay do pay for themselves, like any other investment, where what you put into it is much smaller than what you get out of it. So, I just encourage people, like, if you're feeling stuck or in over your head, in a position where you don't know what to do next, potentially feeling lost or overwhelmed, working with a coach, with someone who's been there and knows how to help guide you through it, can be a really worthwhile use of your time and energy. So, we often spend our time Googling and asking friends and listening to podcasts and reading, when having a person to talk to is what we need. So just want to share my experience and encourage you to think about working with coaches yourselves. Please drop in the comments if you have your own thoughts. If you are a coach and have things you want to share, if you've worked with one and have something you want to share, thanks for listening.